welcome to my channel. This morning it's just a rainy, cold, kind of fall day. I love the coolness of the day, but I don't really care for I don't mind rain. Don't get me wrong, like if I could just sit on the couch all day, snuggle up and watch Hallmark movies, bring on the rain, like bring it on. That's just perfect. If it was a little cooler and I had a fireplace, oh my gosh, like that would be heaven for me. I love fall. I love like crackling fires, you know, the typical fall-esque things. Within the next 45 minutes or so, I'm hoping the babies will go down for a nap. I'll have time to take a shower and be a little bit more presentable for y'all later on toward the end of this video. Y'all, I know this is probably going to gross some of you out, but I had to record it, okay? Because I know there's some people out there that their vacuum cleaner probably looks just like this. Oh, this thing was making the most horrible squeaking noise, so I flipped it over, and this is what I found. There was so much hair in the roller that you couldn't even see the bristles anymore. I don't even know how this thing was really... Well, it probably wasn't working as it should, but yeah. And I also know that there's probably a way easier method to getting all of this hair out. You probably take a whole bunch of pieces, you know, off and apart, but I was just working with what I had. So look at that. That's so gross. Alright y'all, so now that my vacuum cleaner is working properly, I can get all the vacuuming done, and to be quite honest with you, that is all that I got accomplished today as far as cleaning goes. I just couldn't get in the swing of things today. I don't know what it was. I was lacking motivation, and sometimes I have those days and I get in this rut. Sometimes it's hard to get out of, but you know, you just have to push through, and sometimes your body needs a break, and it's okay to let your body rest, recoup, and then, you know, tomorrow get back up and get right back in the swing of things. So, all right, moving on. Tonight we are going to be having chicken enchiladas for dinner. This recipe is awesome. It's quick, simple, and we're having company, so I just doubled the recipe, and it's always a hit. I always go to it when I need a quick meal for company to kind of impress, you know, someone. And you don't have to serve it with sides. I didn't on this day, but you can if you want to, like pair it with some Spanish rice, corn, black beans, anything like that. So what I've got started here is some shredded chicken and shredded cheese. Now that's our filling for the tortillas. The recipe calls for the smaller tortillas. I didn't have any of those. I just used the larger burrito sized ones, and they worked out perfectly fine. Alright guys, so now we're going to get started on the sauce that goes over the top of the enchiladas. You're going to start by adding some butter in a pan, get it all melted, and then you want to add in your flour. You're going to make a roux. So you're going to incorporate the flour into the butter and cook it for just a couple of minutes. Then you're going to slowly add in some chicken broth. I just reserved the chicken broth from earlier when I cooked the chicken. Now you could skip that step altogether and just buy chicken broth and buy a rotisserie chicken and make this like very, very, very quicker than what it already is recipe. Also, I recommend you using a whisk to mix in the chicken broth. I don't have my whisk. It's packed up with a lot of my other things. We're getting ready to move, so I just had a spoon, so that's what I'm using. And I had to work a little harder to get all the lumps out. If you had a whisk, it wouldn't be that difficult. So anyhow, once you get all of the chicken broth incorporated, you want to cook it, and just until it starts to thicken, you're going to turn the heat off, remove it from the eye, and you're going to be adding in some diced green chilies and some sour cream. Now keep in mind that I'm doubling this recipe, so the amount that you see me putting in is going to be way more than, of course, what the recipe calls for. When you add in the sour cream, you want to make sure that your mixture is not piping hot, or the sour cream may curdle. So I just let it sit there for about 5 or 10 minutes. I washed up a couple of dishes and then came back to it. You don't want to, it doesn't have to be all the way cooled down, like cold or room temperature, just not piping hot. Alright, so once you have all of that mixed together, you're just going to pour it over the top of the enchiladas. And you may notice that I had to transfer my enchiladas over into a deeper dish. That first casserole dish was not going to work. I just know I'd made a huge mess trying to get this sauce over the top of those enchiladas. So it had a lot to do with me doubling the recipe. I wasn't thinking that, me using those larger shells, it made the enchiladas very, very big. So now we're just going to top this with cheese. We're going to put it into a 350 degree oven for about 20 to 25 minutes, just until it's nice and bubbly. And this is what it looks like when it comes out. Y'all, this is delicious. You've got to try this recipe. I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed at all. So that's going to wrap up my video for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you'll stick around for more. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Turn on that bell notification so you'll be notified of every video that I upload. So thank you guys again, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.